With allergies, so it doesn't really
It is allergy season. Good morning.
Hey, oh gosh.
Good morning, Iris. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little
We're going to try to make it be a no drama llama kind of day.
I don't think that's possible with
Oh
us.
my goodness.
Good or bad, I think there's going to be some drama here.
We're going to look like we're crying before we even start this episode, but that's allergies.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, except for this is the season where
is it
everything's
bothering
blooming.
you? Your eyes are so beautiful. They're like bright and blue.
That's
it looks like you have contacts in.
No, I don't have contacts.
Wow.
Wow, thank you.
Beautiful eyes. Wow, such blue eyes.
No, when they get watery, with the sinuses, then they, when I get tired, like last night we were watching, what did I call it? It was called the Umbrella Academy. Umbrella Academy. That's a good one. Which everyone probably knows about already, but but so
that's okay. It's new to you.
It's new to me. Yeah. My mate's like, oh, it's only 4 episodes. Let's watch it. And I'm like, he ends up falling asleep after episode 3. And I'm like, when is it gonna be? I want to see the ending. And then I look it up. It's like,
I haven't
just gonna start doing season 5. I'm like,
I haven't
do you
seen
realize?
the last
what a cool
season yet.
That's a cool
series
so far. So don't blow
it.
But I'll probably forget it.
And I forgot it anyway. That's just how I am. That's how I roll.
No, I do the same thing. It's like I'm got the nickname Dory for sure.
Yeah.
But it's so we stay up late, and then when you stay up late, then you don't sleep. You can't sleep. So anyway, that's why I'm tired.
I did sleep. I slept 6 hours straight, but then I've been up since 4 a.m. So I don't know how she does it. So I'm a little tired. I think I could have used 2 more hours, but I told myself,
for me,
Iris, you're not going to pick up your phone. You're not going to do it. You're just going to go back to sleep. Oh, let me just pick it up.
That squirrel does it every time, girl.
I know.
Because then the next thing you know, do you know on my phone, it'll tell me how long I've been on my phone?
Really?
Yeah, I forget how I got to it.
Oh, you mean like how long you've been scrolling?
Like I've been on Facebook, and it tells me.
Oh, mine.
I was like,
maybe I should figure that out.
Because once you get onto some of those TikToks, and they're so
down the
funny.
Rabbit hole.
Down I go, and nobody sees me. But I mean, it sounds like I don't have a lot of time, but in the morning when I'm, having my coffee, and I should be moving it. I just like to chill. I've really become my parents because, it's like in the morning.
Yes, read the paper.
I don't like to wait, hurry.
Right.
And so I end up looking at my phone, seeing first, if there's any, work stuff, and then I check the messages, and then I start scrolling, and then I'm like, snap, I gotta go. Yeah. Like the white rabbit, I'm late.
For a very important date.
Exactly. Anyway.
Yeah, my allergies are, my eyeballs are itching, so if you see me scratching my eyeballs.
No scratching eyeballs out. Not on this episode.
I know. It's April here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's cold and rainy though, and I thought that was going to help with the pollen count, but apparently not today, because I looked at the pollen count, it said high, and I was like, no, because I usually just don't go out in the spring. I love spring, but I just don't. I try not to go outside when it's high pollen count, because I suffer.
No, I get you. I'm the same.
Yeah, you're the same.
Yeah, but I just, I love to garden. I love to mow the lawn. So I get out there anyway and just take my little nose spray and stuff. And
wow.
Yeah.
My grandparents used to torture me. They used to make me mow the yard when I was a kid, and I would just suffer.
Yeah, I'm probably not as sensitive, obviously, as you, because that I think is horrible. My deceased husband, his dad, used to be allergic to the grass
and have to mow it,
but he would mow it anyway. Yeah. So, because he loved mowing, so
I did mowing.
I'm right there with him. I mean, there's just something therapeutic about cleaning and making it good, and I like that too. It just that gets to my neck because I've got those herniated discs, and so from an accident when I was 16, they're now starting to go, hello, we're here. Never has bugged me until now that I'm getting.
You should have those,
I will get those checked out. There's a lot of things on that list. But anyway, it's all about you today. Who are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Topic?
I am.
I see a beautiful woman right there.
We were just discussing this, that sometimes I'm the serious one, and she's the funny one, and that's what you need in a partnership.
Exactly.
Because we both can't be funny all the time.
But then we squirrel too, so we're alike, but we're not alike, but it works.
So I read this amazing book.
She's beautiful.
I Am Malala, and I highly recommend it. She was the winner of a Nobel Prize. I don't know if, and this is from Malala Yousafzai with Christina Lamb. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's
Bring that up. So beautiful.
What
woman.
a book.
Beautiful
yeah,
woman.
she's a young woman. And people ask me what inspired me. Well, she's a humanitarian, a young girl who was shot and left for dead.
How
from
old
the killer. 15 when she was shot.
Oh my gosh, humanitarian at 15.
Yeah, if you're a mom or dad or whoever, just a human being, and you hear these stories, and what inspires me is how they overcome the obstacles of, health and mental and spiritual and physical.
Oh yeah.
And that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
So my sources today for Malala Yousafzai are Wikipedia and the book I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai and Christina Lamb. So I'm going to take you into a different part of the world, a different country. And Malala was born on July 12th, 1997. God, that makes me feel so old when I say that.
Yeah, that's Oscar's birthday.
In Mingora. Wow.
Yeah.
In Mingora, Northwest Frontier Province in the country of Pakistan. Oh, that really just threw me off, because I wonder if they're like,
Oh, I don't know.
Stubborn. No.
Oh. Yeah, this one's stubborn. Yes,
anyway,
for sure.
But they're good stubborns.
The good stubborn.
Good.
Yes.
Anyway, Northwest Frontier Province in Pakistan. So Malala won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014, the youngest Nobel laureate at the age of 17.
Microphone,
For
sorry.
her struggle against the suppression of children and young people, and for the right of all children to education.
Wow.
Yeah, she suffered a lot for this, and she has just become an amazing
What
woman.
a driven spirit.
Such a driven spirit.
To have this clarity.
Yeah, right.
And to know, that's like...
Well, she knew it from a very young age.
Like her purpose, it sounds like she knew
did.
that. Yeah.
She did. When Malala was born in Mingora, Malala had described the land as beautiful. She said, "We have fields of wildflowers, orchards of delicious fruit, emerald mines, and rivers full of trout." She said it was known as the Switzerland of the East. They even had Pakistan's first ski resort. It just sounds amazing.
Sounds amazing. See, and I didn't picture, and that's where it's bad for me. I need to go back through my countries and my territories. I didn't realize it was so beautiful like that. I'm thinking it's more dry. And more
there are pockets and
sure, just like
areas.
I guess over here,
right,
like Arizona has its
or like we go
dry,
to
dry,
Eastern Washington, right?
Yeah.
AKA, it's called SWAT. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It just looks like SWAT to me. That way, she described during one bus ride, you could almost smell the beautiful trees, figs, and apricots. So she just,
I can smell it already.
It was so descriptive.
Because I'm a smell.
And by the way, I cried throughout this entire book. Just FYI. My husband's like, "You can't present this." I'm like, "I have to. I won't cry."
There's tissues right there.
Well, luckily it's been a couple weeks since I finished writing. So,
you have to pass me the tissues. I'm sure I'm going to cry.
Do you need it?
Yeah,
okay.
I think I'm probably going to end up crying.
However, she was born a girl in a land where rifles are fired in celebration of a son, while daughters are hidden away behind a curtain. Their role in life simply to prepare food and give birth to children.
Oh. Okay.
Malala was named after Malala of Maiwand, the greatest heroine of Afghanistan. This poor young heroine died in battle. Malala's country is steeped in history of changing of beliefs and taken over by various religions and political peoples. I couldn't think of a better word. So, in ancient times, Swat was known as a Buddhist kingdom, and their kings ruled the valley for more than 500 years.
Oh, wow.
I know. Her ancestors came to Swat in the 16th century. So much history to read about if you're interested. It's really fascinating. you just think that, oh, these were the original people, or that religion, but it was not true. Buddhist. I would have never guessed that unless I read this book, which is amazing. The saddest part of all of this is their statues of Buddhas in previous history have been destroyed with war.
Oh,
that's really, I know. And I will name the group that attacked her because I think it's important. And a disclaimer, we do not, how do I say this?
Excuse me.
We may not always be PC, politically correct. And if we make a mistake, we're not experts in these things, but we just present what we've read.
Right.
So when the Taliban, led by the mullah, had taken over the country, they started burning girls' schools. Men and women who went against the many rules of the Taliban found themselves in grave danger. During coming years, as the Taliban took over small cities in the country, they imposed a strict Sharia law, which entails many rules the peaceful country people were not used to. It would often pit neighbors against each other for the fear of being killed for not following the rules.
Wow.
So that's really hard. When you're a country person, you're living your best life, you're working hard, and all of a sudden you've got all these new rules, and then the neighbors are like, well, I don't want to be killed, I better turn them in. It's so sad.
Right. It's
and
like,
that's why
you're free, and then all of a sudden you're in a cage.
Exactly. You're a prisoner in your own country.
That's sad. That's really sad.
Malala had her own life lessons to learn as she grew up in these tumultuous times. She always had a desire to study and learn about life. Her father was a great teacher for her. He opened a couple of different schools, and Malala would come even in as a toddler and talk as if she was the teacher. So cute.
That's totally cute.
She also had other hard lessons, as many of us do as children, but doing it in a country rife with repression and rules of deadly consequence.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're a girl, and there's all these rules. Malala's father consoled her by telling her about mistakes great heroes made when they were children. He told me that Gandhi said freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. Because Malala did make a mistake as a young child. She, it's not worth mentioning, but you can read her book.
Oh, come on now.
Well,
Come on.
She did steal something from a friend, and she really wanted it, but she learned her valuable lesson. I mean, what child hasn't taken something?
Yeah, you get jealous, and then you're like, I want that.
That's right. And you keep it in secret.
Then you're like,
And then someone finds out.
Yeah.
But that's why her father consoled her with that, because it's like
I'm glad you brought that out, because everybody makes mistakes and they regret something they've done when they were younger.
But she learned so much from it.
Yeah.
Malala, in her innocence, writes a letter to God when she is young. She writes, "Dear God, I know you see everything, but there's so many things that maybe sometimes things get missed, particularly now the bombing in Afghanistan. But I don't think you would be happy if you saw the children on my road living in a rubbish dump. God, give me the strength and courage and make me perfect, because I want to make the world perfect." After much thought of how to get the letter to God, she ties it around a piece of wood with a dandelion on top and floats it down the river. Surely God would find it there, she says. Innocent. I'm going to cry.
I know.
Very innocent. I think I just touched my mic because I'm like, slapping, chest slapping. So as danger creeps closer to her town, more innocent people are killed under the Taliban for not obeying Sharia law. People are killed in a most cruel way that I won't describe. People are looking for hope, and time again, their hopes get squashed. Her father kept teaching.
Like even breathing,
I know.
You're just like, okay, you're dead. Yeah, that's sad.
Her father kept teaching children and had women's teachers to teach girls, despite the threats and burnings of other schools. Malala started doing TV interviews in town and started to feel stronger about her passion and conveying the importance of education for children. So here's this little girl, 11 years old. Malala gained notoriety at a young age of 11. She started writing under a pseudonym, Gul Makai. She was campaigning for the right of young girls to get an education, which was frowned upon by the Taliban. She had several interviews with different TV stations, and she said it made her get over her fear and feel stronger the more she did it. Amazing. She said, education is education. We should learn everything and then choose which path to follow. Education is neither Eastern nor Western. It is human.
Oh, yeah,
out of the mouths of babes.
Yeah.
Then as she got a little older, she did have nightmares occasionally of being shot for going to school. My pages are stuck together. There were many times in war, as in many war-torn countries, where they would have to pick up and leave. They would leave behind their pets, homes, and flee. Her family became very depressed. Eventually, they came back home after the fighting stopped between the Pakistan Army and the Taliban. And I'm just giving you a quick little version of it, but in the book it's much longer.
Oh, I'm sure it goes into very graphic.
It does.
I'm sure.
Then it happened, her greatest fear. Malala was shot in the head while on her way home from school. It was October 9th, 2012. She was 15 years old. Two of her friends in the bus were hit with other shots that were fired upon her. The other girls' injuries were minor in comparison to Malala's. She was the target, and the Taliban claimed they were responsible.
Wow.
So there it begins, her new journey. She was rushed to a hospital, and yes, I did cry through this whole part. She was rushed to a hospital and then transferred to a secure military base hospital.
Oh, smart move. Smart move.
Yeah. She then miraculously was transferred out of Pakistan when someone from the UAE volunteered their private jet. Because they had been in conflict with American politics at the moment. They were.
So somebody else stepped in and got
Pakistan kind of did something bad, and they didn't want to ask for help. So the UAE and the British took her.
Nice.
But I mean, we probably would have as well, but they didn't want to involve us because they had just.
They're like, we're not going to step on their.
Yeah, they had already done something to kind of upset that apple cart. So these surgeons and doctors here were trying to help, and they're like, we can't help her, and it was really crazy. So before she even gets on that private jet, I think they had to take part of her skull that had just gotten destroyed, and they put it inside of her stomach to try to save it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it was they really tried. I mean, so anyway, I've
never heard of such a thing. That's crazy.
She was transferred out. There were various surgeons, nurses, and doctors that helped put Malala back together again. It took numerous surgeries.
Okay,
she now has a cochlear implant in her ear and a titanium skull cap.
Wow.
It's because the one that they took and put in her stomach didn't take. So they had to.
They probably were trying to keep it alive. That's all I can think of. And if it's in the blood and the embryos, you know what I mean? It's going to be feeding off, and it's going to. I think that's what their goal was. That if we put it inside, it should stay alive, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
I guess in this case it didn't work. But
you have to read the book. The way they describe it is amazing.
I can already feel it and see it. So I'm kind of that kind of person where. So
with all these surgeries, it's remarkable that she survived.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all thanks to these wonderful surgeons and doctors.
Wow.
So her family was eventually flown into Birmingham, England, and settled. So before that happened, she was in the hospital in England and at the mercy of strangers, and I don't know that she could necessarily talk yet, or when she did, when she was able to coherently speak, in her language.
Sure.
I don't know if they had a translator or what, but
I would hope they would.
But it was so sad. She kept saying, "My dad can't afford this." You know, she was very conscientious. Oh, okay. Now I don't want to cry because she was such a good kid. She was just like, "Oh, my family, my dad."
She didn't want to put them through all that.
She did not.
But I'm sure they didn't have to pay for that. I'm sure that.
Well, I think people stepped up
and absorbed that.
Yeah, that cost.
I would hope.
So her family was flown over to Birmingham, and the people there in Birmingham took such good care of her.
Now, did they do that because they felt that they were going to then be targets since she didn't get killed?
No, they just wanted her family there.
To be, okay.
Yeah, because they didn't want her to be alone.
Sure.
God, it makes me cry.
No, I know.
But you know, the amazing,
it
is. But the most amazing thing is she went on to Oxford and got a Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. She graduated in 2020. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
She went on to marry Esther Malik in November of 2021. She always said, she always said, "Oh, I'll never get married." But I think I used to say that too. But she did, and I'm glad, and she seems happy. She is currently working on a new book and still speaking, using a multitude of platforms for a number of organizations throughout the world on behalf of young women and children and their rights for education. I will list some of Malala's famous quotes, just a few, but I would highly recommend her book and learn more about her foundation.
Wow.
And I don't even pretend to understand different cultures and religions, but I just tell the story of what I've read. My heart goes out to these women and children of the world whose lights get dimmed by the rules of others.
Yeah.
A quote from Malala. I have many quotes here today, and I'm not going to read them all, but I'm going to read a few because I feel like it's important.
That. I mean,
when the world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful.
Yeah.
We realize the importance of our voices only when we are silenced.
Yeah.
We must tell girls their voices are important.
You can read these.
There's so many.
Yeah, just go ahead. You've got them highlighted. I'd like to
One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world.
Wow.
There are two powers in the world. One is the sword, the other is the pen. There is a third power stronger than both, that of women. Yeah.
Wow.
And these are quite long. I'll read the
highlighted ones.
The highlighted ones. I mean, when she was voted for her, and she won the Nobel Prize, and I had to look up exactly. That was created in the early 1900s, like 1901, for a man, for different categories, and for humankind. What good that people have done for humankind. And I'd say that she was a worthy person to win that.
Yeah, it gives me chills.
And she's so smart. She's so insightful. I tell my story not because it is unique, because it is not. It is a story of many young girls. That's profound. Yeah. And she's gone on to other countries and helped.
Just the one that's
with their education.
Brought that to light, but it's happening to everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
she's just a voice.
Education is education. Yeah, I already said that one earlier in her. Yeah, it's neither Eastern nor Western. It is human. And the extremists are afraid of books and pens. The power of education frightens them. They are afraid of women.
That's very true.
They're afraid of education, period. I truly believe the only way we can create global peace is not only through educating our minds, but our hearts and our souls. Just such a smart,
education is
young
knowledge
girl.
Is power.
It is. Yeah. I had two options. One was to remain silent and wait to be killed, and the second was to speak up and then be killed. I chose the second one. I decided to speak up.
Wow.
Yeah. And they go on, and they're all
she's
worthy.
Got a lot of good quotes.
She does. Yeah. I think everyone makes a mistake at least once in their life. The important thing is what you learned from it. And that's true.
Well,
and that is Malala Yousafzai. And she is amazing, and her book is very well written.
Well, just even, I'm thinking, like, she gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
And so she was able to, they were able to restore her cognitive, all of that.
That's a miracle.
To where, I mean, where she doesn't have any speech, like speech problems or
just the hearing.
Any walk problems, just the hearing. That is a miracle right there, because whenever you're shot in the head, I mean,
I know, you hear stories all the time.
It leaves people in disarray.
How could you shoot a child? I mean, I know in other countries, you know, and I mean...
But they don't see it that way.
They don't see it that way. They just see...
They see what that person's doing, and they don't like their perspective. Right. And so whether it be like a 2-year-old or a 20-year-old or 11-year-old, unfortunately, it's...
And here's an important quote from Brené Brown. When we look away from the pain of any people, we diminish their humanity and our own.
That's true.
So for us to say, well, it doesn't matter, it didn't happen in our part of the world, it does matter.
It does matter.
It does matter. It matters that we don't diminish humanity like that.
Well, true, because who says it couldn't happen here?
Absolutely, you know what I mean?
Could. It's like, if it happens there, it can happen anywhere.
Right.
So it's something we need to be aware of.
Yeah.
And we need to
speak out.
Speak out and not let it happen.
And who did this one? Oh, our favorite, Positive Energy _plus.
Yeah.
If we spread love as quickly as we spread hate and negativity, what an amazing world we would live in.
Wouldn't that be great?
Gosh.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
I think I'm living in a cloud when I talk about that one, because, you know, that doesn't happen.
Well, it's so easy to spread the negativity, you know, out there. And it's like, come on, it's just as easy to spread the positive.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. So that's my story.
We want to be a no drama llama kind of zone, right?
Here's to that. So mine was kind of heavy today. But
but it's
well worth talking.
It's very important. It's important to learn. I mean, it's important to know we all have a voice.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean, she sacrificed so much in speaking. You know, her voice, and it's kind of interesting. Like, she's carrying on that legacy from the person that she was named after. Yeah. So she's continuing to be that warrior, and I'm sure if she has children, they're going to be that kind of warrior as well. And we need those people, because one voice in the positive way, and it can go the opposite, just one voice in the negative way. Yeah. So we don't want that. So guys. So just that one voice means so much. And what if she wouldn't have spoke up? Yeah. What if she would have been silenced and just kept in? Ooh, there goes Mike. Kept inside. They wouldn't be at the point that they're at, because she helped.
The saddest part is that she always wants to go home, but she can't. They did tell her. Yeah. The Taliban did tell her that if you apologize, you can come home, but she's like, no.
Like, hell no. It's like, why? No, I'll just stay over here. Yeah, I'll be adopted. This is my new dog, and which is really sad.
But she wants to go. I mean, she loves her country where she was born and the people that she grew up with.
That's making me cry, because
they're there. Oh, don't make me cry.
No, because it's like no one should be forced out of their country, out of their home. Yeah. That's where their legacy, their everything that's their family, the heritage.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's when I
sad.
Read the Nelson Mandela story. That's how they felt too. I mean, they were persecuted in their own country and made slaves in their own country, and that's not cool.
No,
I mean, that would be like somebody coming over here and start doing that to us, and we'd have to fight back. You know.
Oh yeah, and I know that I've got that fiery spirit that I'd be like.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I have around me? I'm going to start throwing stuff at you.
I'm going to fight back.
Yeah, even if it's my little
warrior.
Where's my little, my warrior paint on.
My warrior.
Yeah, no, it's just, no, it's true. I mean, it's.
My mascara's good
no, you're fine. No mascara running. But thank you. That brings up great points, and I love the topics that you bring up, because they all have something very, very important, and if we would just listen to the past and not, take the good that's come out of the bad and move forward. I mean, it's, we just don't want, history repeating in the bad way.
Well,
so,
unfortunately,
it does.
It does. And I mean, we have tumultuous things that go on in our country, and we're all shocked.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they took away women's rights. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where you stand on the topic, but it doesn't matter. It's like the fundamental thing is you can't tell women what to do with their body. I guess you can now, but that's not, I'm opposed to that. I don't think that's right. That you should imprison them or... That's a whole
other rabbit hole. We could go down for another episode.
That's a hot topic.
No, it's a hot topic. I appreciate bringing up her. And again, here's her book. If you guys want to look at that, it's a nice thick book.
It's really nice.
I always like to say, there's pictures.
Oh my God, that's her family.
Look at that. That's her family.
Very nice.
And proud Papa.
Oh, such a proud
There's her speaking. Look at that confident young woman.
Very confident.
She's speaking away and
confident.
Just amazing. I mean, this must be the school where Papa probably was teaching.
Let me see. I'll tell you.
So I don't have my glasses on right here. Is that Papa? Or no?
Yeah. No, that's not Papa, but
that's women. No. That's somebody carrying on his legacy. Oh, and what happened there?
That's where they bombed one of the schools.
Oh, this is
this was her in the hospital.
Yeah. So this woman went through hell. So just saying,
I cried so much. One
person.
Well, how did I miss
so she did that for the world, for the country.
Yeah.
And she's 11 years old, and she's sacrificing herself for rights to keep us free, to keep us to have knowledge. So that's very impactful. And there I go with the chills again. So thank you. That was great.
You're welcome. Sorry, it's so serious.
No, we need to balance it out. Yeah. There'll be ones that you'll bring us that will be not as serious, but in a different light. Like I loved
Richard Branson.
Yeah, I just said Richard Branson.
By the seat of his pants.
What an amazing guy. So there's
a lot of amazing people out there.
And that brings us up.
Yeah.
So we would love to hear from you guys. If you guys, it's our squirrel moment. Tired. So if you guys have someone of interest that you haven't heard us speak about yet, we would love to hear you. Email us at coffeeandapodcast3@gmail.com. Nobody's emailed us yet, so please be the first.
Email us.
Yeah, we don't count. But
sure we count.
We count, but not that one.
Okay.
I know. But anyway, we would love for you guys to reach out to us because we'd love to hear from you.
We're getting ready
give us
to
the
do
positives, what we could do better, what we got going on.
Absolutely.
It's all growing. So
growing pains for sure. And right now we're gonna sign off, and then we're gonna do our mini-sode today, which will be interesting.
Yeah. She's got the topic, so we'll hear.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfection.
So, alrighty. Well, be good to each other.
And be kind.
And ciao for now.